Hey, thank you so much for watching, guys. Just real quick for all the new people, just so that you guys understand the goal of this channel, it's secondary to make people money. Primary purpose of this channel is to spread good deeds into the world. So making this, the competitive nature of the stock market more about helping others than about helping self is how you continue the flow of abundance to you, and how you can profit and still do good in the world. And that's by following the rule of karma for the channel, which is 5% of the profits from the information that you find here should be paid back to the channel here on our resources tab at tarotfortraders.com to Cash App or PayPal, and 5% of the proceeds should be of your profit should be paid forward to one of these charities. These are great charities, or to a charity of your choosing. Whatever you want to do, as long as you're paying 5% forward, 5% backwards, and spending that remainder out of love, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions. That, my friend, is the goal of the channel. Don't be that guy asking tons of questions and not following the rule of karma, because you will not be my friend. There's so many people out there following the rule of karma. There's really no reason not to, guys. This information is coming to you for that purpose. Make sure to follow it. Love you. Be angel investors. And here's the prediction for April, my friends. This is the NFLX shares 1 month overview reading for the month of April 2023. It's currently March 28, 2023, 7:14 p.m. Eastern Time. NFLX shares at the time of this reading in the extended hours, it's $324.22.5 per share. And the April shuffle file that we're about to play was created on March 12, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. That's this file right here. The overall theme and behavior for the month of April, we have a notable move to the upside standing out on a 1 month chart. It takes place after establishing support along key support level. It's crossed, however, with the period of volatility that ends with a fast, sudden move higher. Behavior around the highest high, we have a notable rally that'll stand out on at least a 1 month chart. That'll take us into the highest high and offer an opportunity to open up a short position. That's on a more than just a 1 month kind of scale. When we take a look at the 1 year, guys, we have the Ace of Wands here in the early part of the April cluster, this being the April cluster. The Ace of Wands is very, very, very similar energy to the Princess of Wands. And so you give this the 1 year about 2 weeks of wiggle room, puts this rally here in April right on the ball, with the high being this opportunity on a this is on a 1 year chart opportunity to open up a short position. And then behavior around the lowest low. So when in real time we're looking at a chart trying to identify if we've determined if we've met a lowest low for the month, we're going to be looking for behavior where we had a failed attempt to break through key resistance that we probably failed to break through once before, and then there was some sort of false establishment of support, followed by a failed attempt to break through the key resistance again, and then that second attempt is followed by a decline through key support, taking us into a lowest low. So we'll be looking for that chart behavior to determine a lowest low. Before we go any further, let's take a look. I have a February reading for Netflix, but I do have a 1 year. The 1 year reading was created on October 10th, 2022 at 2:09 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this reading right here. So January to February, it looks like we had a high and a low correlation here in January. So we had a low for the year and a high for the year in January, pretty much on point. And then we had a high and a low correlation in February. Looks like it's a lowest low here in February. And my sense is we had the high here in February, and then the low. We had a low in February as well, but it actually continued into March. So, and like I said, you need to give this 1 year readings about 2 weeks of wiggle room, but the sequence of events will always be accurate. So there we go, a lowest low. So what we should see is some volatility back and forth in early to mid March, right? Followed by a high and a low. I think probably a low and then a high. A high that'll take place in April, followed by a notable decline. And looking at the May reading, the decline really takes place in May when we're looking at the 1 months. But this is a pretty solid reading thus far. A lot going on, a lot of volatility with Netflix. However, we did call high and low, and then we should have a significant a significant high come out of this low that we see here. Significant high probably will take place in actual April. All right, so on the on the third, we have a period of sideways rotational on key support level. There's a sharp dip in that period of sideways rotation that offers an opportunity that revisits the support level that was recently a past opportunity. There's also a trade opportunity there, which I'll get into in the paid version. There's a shuffle file completed. On the fourth, we have a sideways fluctuating decline that precedes a rally. It looks like rally starts midday, takes us into a crest early in the day on the fifth, followed by a notable drop to a prominent trough, and a key support level on a multi-day scale there. On the sixth, we have out of a low, very likely a lowest low here on the sixth. We have a significant move higher out of the low. Fast sudden move higher out of low, and another trade opportunity there on the 6th. Again, I'll talk about that in the paid version. Guys, if you're interested in the paid version, the way that you do it's a great way to support the channel. You go to our website, tarotfortraders.com. Under our services, hit on Eso-Meta forecasts. Click predictions for next month. Click here to order. And then right now it's April predictions. In just a few days, we'll have May predictions up as well, but you can still order March. I would recommend going for the April prediction at this point, and there's like something like 12 of them. You can order all of them for $5.55 as well. Great way to support the channel, my friends. And we definitely remember the people that do go. I think of them as sponsors. They're helping sponsor content, because the public version doesn't have the paid the best trades that we see, the paid content at the end, but it just, we do provide the public chart behavior, if you will. All right, so on the 6th, fast sudden move higher out of a decline. On the 10th, it looks like we probably open lower than when we close on the 6th, and we decline through multiple support levels. Between that decline and a decline somewhere on, looks like probably the end of the 11th, there's a bit of a rally into the 11th, where there's a halting of a bullish trend marked by a sharp decline through key support, a trade opportunity there as well. On the 12th, another prominent trough, and it looks like we have a merger or a decision between two leaders that's highlighted here. A prominent crest at the end of the day or early in the morning on the 13th, and that also offers a trade opportunity. There's a U-shaped dip there on the 13th that forms near the intersection of two perpendicular diagonal trend lines. On the 14th, we have sideways rotational on key support on a multi-day chart. We rise to meet the nearest resistance and then fall back down and continue rotating sideways along that same support. Looks like we have on the 17th, we likely gap down over the weekend, and we establish, there's a move higher standing out on a multi-day chart there on the 17th out of a gap down. We have successfully turned support resistance into new support on a multi-day chart kind of scale. On the 18th, we have a notable decline standing out on a multi-day chart, followed by a rally. It looks like a notable decline into midday, where there's a prominent trough there, and then a notable rally out of midday into the end of the day, where we have a significant move higher. This would really stand out on a multi-day chart, taking us into a highest high either at the beginning, at the end of the day on the 18th, or at the beginning of the day on the 19th. There's a decline off of that high. Remember, when we're at the high offers an opportunity to open up a short position in the midst of a decline. And it looks like we decline somewhere into the end of the 20th or into the 21st, where we see a fast sudden move higher ending that decline. We likely revisit, or this ends up being a highest high or a highest high thus far, like a highest high thus far, you could say, here on the 19th, or late on the 18th or early on the 19th. This has the highest probability here on the 21st of being a highest high. And there's a notable move into that as well. We may revisit that highest high again on the 24th, but there's a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support. That decline takes us into a trough and oversold territory on the 25th. Looks like early in the day, and there's a lot of ground covered on the 25th. Looks like there's probably a pretty big drop here on the 24th into the 25th, and then on the 25th out of oversold territory, a notable move to the upside, taking us to another prominent crest or peak. Early in the day on the 26th, there's important resistance highlighted there. And then we fall pretty notably from another prominent peak or crest on the 27th. It's the 26th, 27th again. So we have like a high probability of a highest high here and a high probability of a highest high here on the 27th. It looks like we probably visited like 2 to 3 times. So somewhere here in the last 2 weeks, we visited 2 times. It looks like, but then we declined pretty notably on the 27th, taking us to a support level that we visited in the not too distant past. So maybe like what we saw here early in the day on the 25th. And then on the 28th, we declined from support down to another support on the multi-day scale, and then we rotate sideways along that support. Looks like we probably rally into May, but then from a prominent crest or peak, there's a selling off down to and through support, followed by a U-shaped reversal below that support to come back and reuse it as support. That's kind of like a sneak preview of what's going to take place in May. That's NFLX for the month of April 2023. My friends, make sure to follow the rule of karma. That's the most important thing about this channel. Follow the rule of karma. Take some of the profits that you make from the information in this channel, pay it back to the channel, pay a little bit of it forward to keep that flow going through the universe, leaving yourself with 90%. Make sure you spend that out of love, and the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. If you got the paid version, stay tuned. We're going to get into the best trades that we see for the month in just a second here. I'll see you guys on the next one.